Hey everybody, welcome to the eStoreKings YouTube channel. Today we're going to be looking at adding blog posts to your WordPress website. So as you can see here, we've got a blog on the eStoreKings.com site, and we want to go ahead and add a few more blog posts. So let's get right into it. Don't want to waste your time. Once you are in your WordPress admin, head on over to posts if you're not there already, and you can do one of two things. So you can obviously click on add new, which is what we're going to do in this tutorial. You're definitely going to have to use the add new if, let's say, this is your first blog post on this website. If you do have older blog posts that you could kind of reuse or copy over, you can certainly do that. I will leave a link to a plugin that we use to clone blog posts. The advantage to using the plugin is that you can clone a blog post, and then that way you're not starting from scratch every time you do a blog post. So if you do end up downloading the plugin that I leave in the description, all you have to do is hover over a previous blog post and click on clone. But again, for this tutorial, I'll show you how to do it from scratch. So let's go ahead and click on add new. And here we are on the add new post page. And you're going to start off with something quite simple, and that is the title. So go ahead and enter the title that you'll be using for your blog post. And then next we'll move on to the body of the blog post. So that's kind of where the bulk of everything goes. So let's go ahead and start with the text. Now I'm assuming you've already written the blog post, or you're going to give this video a pause and go ahead and write. But if you do already have the copy, go ahead and copy the copy into your blog post. If you are copying over from, let's say, a Word document where some of the text is formatted, it will copy over the formatting as well. So for example, I've got titles here that in the document had a header style applied to them. So again, the formatting will copy over. So let's go ahead and fix up any issues that we see. For example, there's an extra line break here that's unnecessary. We've got another one here. Okay, that's it for the line breaks. Now we haven't added anything fun like any images or videos. Let's go ahead and preview this just to see what it's looking like so far. So go on up to the right-hand corner and click on preview. And this will show you the blog post so far. So, ignore the stuff on the right. That's just the sidebar that shows up with every blog post on this website. But as you can see, we've got our blog post on the left-hand side. And great, it's tons of information, which is fantastic, but we kind of want to spice it up a bit. Add some images, some videos, that kind of thing. So let's go ahead and add images to the blog post. And to do that, you'll have to put your cursor kind of wherever it is that you want the image to go. So I'm going to put my first image a little bit further down the page. And then I'm going to hit enter because I'd like the image to go here, kind of in between that top paragraph and then the number 4 title. So you go ahead and find the spot that you're going to be adding your image to. And then once you've put your cursor in place, head on up to add media. So from here, you can use past images if you'd like. If you've got an image that you used on your website another time, you can reuse it. But most likely you're going to need to upload a file. So go ahead and click on the Upload Files tab, and then select your files and upload them to your website. Once your image is done uploading, go ahead and enter the alt text. So alt text is important in that it helps with your SEO, and it also makes your website more accessible. And then hit the Insert into Post button. So we'll go ahead and do that a few more times before we preview. So again, put your cursor in place, head on up to Add Media, and upload your image. and go ahead and enter that alt text again. And then insert it into the post. And we've got just one more to do. Again, hit Add Media and Upload. Okay, and we'll go ahead and enter it into the post again. And now that we've added a few images, let's go back and preview the blog post again. So head on up to the top and click on that preview button. And if we scroll down, we can go ahead and see the images that we've added. So there we have another one. And the last one there. Now you can obviously add more if you'd like. And the next thing I'm going to add, now that I'm happy with the images, is an embedded YouTube video. So we actually created a video to go along with this blog post. So again, we're going to place the cursor wherever we want the image to go, or sorry, the video to go. So I'm going to add a little space there, a line break. And now I need to go to YouTube and grab the embed code. So if you've got a video that you'd like to add from YouTube, you can certainly do the same thing. So I'm going to head on over to the eStoreKings YouTube channel. And from there, I'm just going to go and find the Instagram Story Ideas video. So this is the one here. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And from there, I'm going to click on Share. And that's where we can grab the embed code from. So here's the embed code. You do have a few different options here. You can make it so that the video starts wherever we've kind of landed on when we click the share button. We can also remove the player controls. So for example, right now you see the watch on YouTube. We could remove that if we'd like, but to me, it doesn't hurt to have that on there, to be honest. And then enable privacy enhanced mode. And it says when you turn on privacy enhanced mode, YouTube won't store information about visitors on your website unless they play the video. So whether or not you want to check that off, that's completely up to you, but I'm fine with leaving it unchecked. So I'm going to go ahead and hit copy and then head on back to the WordPress admin. And I've already made the space there for the video. Now, because I copied a bit of code, I'm going to have to switch from the visual view over to text. So visual is basically what it's going to look like on the website, whereas text shows you the code. This here in HTML is basically just a space. So I'm going to overwrite it with the embed code that I copied over from YouTube. So let's go ahead and paste. So this will embed the YouTube video onto our blog post. However, it's going to be a bit too small. Well, here, let me show you. If we hit preview, so because the video was only 500 and something pixels wide, I knew that it wouldn't be wide enough for the entire blog post. And ideally, you want the video to be as wide as the photos, right? So that it kind of all looks uniform. So let's head on back. And I'm just going to make the width 100%. And then that way I'm not kind of, guessing as to what the width is. And for the height, let's say around 425. And we're going to hit that preview again to see what it looks like. So now the video is full width. And it kind of matches the rest of the blog post. And if we'd like, we can go ahead and press play just to see what it looks like. So there we've got our video playing. So we can click back on visual so that we can see what it looks like here. Now, to be honest, I always grab the embed code, but you can also just insert the YouTube link. So we'll hit share again and just grab the YouTube link, copy it, and then instead of going into the code view, let's try entering it into the actual blog post and see what happens. So again, we have to kind of get our place with the cursor and then hit paste and enter. So, that is obviously much easier. However, there are less options to it. But let's hit preview to see, just what the difference is. So that is going to be the difference for you. If you use the embed code, you can adjust the size. Whereas if you just copy and paste the YouTube link, it will just kind of spit it out as is onto your blog post. So it's completely up to you, whichever method you prefer. If you don't really care about the width, don't worry about it, just copy paste, throw in that YouTube link. Whereas if you want to play around with the sizing a bit more and have a little more control, you can certainly grab the embed code like you saw me do originally. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of that second one. I'm just going to click on it, hit backspace, get rid of it. So as far as the blog post looks, I am happy with it. Definitely go through it, make sure that there aren't any spelling mistakes, that kind of thing. You will want to make sure that the titles or the headers are formatted as such. So for example, this here is a heading 1. And the reason that this is important is not only is it easier for your reader to read it and kind of flow through the blog post naturally, when Google or other search engines crawl through your site, they will be looking for things like headings. And you'll also want to bold certain text within your blog post. A lot of people really will just be skimming through it for the most part. So adding things like bolded text really does help. So let's go ahead and bold a few things here. So just highlight it. You can either hit the bold up here, or like many other programs, simply hit Control or Command B. Okay, so again, we will preview just so that you can see what that looks like. So we have a few bolded areas here. You can also do things like add links to your blog post. Now, links also are very important, as you should have inbound and outbound links. It does help with your SEO ranking. So let's start with an outbound link. At the bottom, I'm going to put something to the effect of, if you want to see more, definitely check out our YouTube channel. To add a link, simply highlight the text that you'd like to link. And then head on up to the hyperlink icon. And then paste it in there. Now you can click on the link options and make it so that it opens up in a new tab, because really, if someone is clicking on this link and you want to take them away from your website, it really should open up in a new tab. You want your website to still remain open. You don't want to send someone away and then they can't get back to your website, or they've got to hit back a few times. Just keep both tabs open. So go ahead and check off open link in a new tab and then hit update. And now you'll be able to link to the YouTube channel from the blog post. So there we have our external link. And of course you can add more than one, but that's just as an example. We've got the one outbound link. And now let's add an inbound link. So let's link to somewhere else on our website. So we already have a blog post that talks about designing Instagram quotes using Canva. So we can either grab the link address, or we can simply search for it when we enter our link, and I'll show you how. So again, I'm going to highlight the text that we're going to be linking and then head on up to the link icon. So we can paste the link, or because we're linking to a page that exists on our website, we can simply look for the page title or the post title. And there we have it. So we're just going to hit apply because we don't need it to open up in a new window, since you're just sending the person from a page on your site to another page on your site. So go ahead and click apply. And again, if we go in preview, we'll be able to see the links. So let's head on down to the very bottom where they both are. So here is the eStoreKings YouTube channel. So that opens up YouTube in another tab. And then here we have the tutorial on how to make Instagram quotes as a blog post on our site. So again, that did not open a new tab, it just opened up in the same tab. And the great thing about sending people from one page to another is that they're going to spend more and more time on your website. You know, it's kind of like that rabbit hole on YouTube. Those related videos kind of keep you hooked and keep you staying on YouTube for longer. And essentially that's what you want for people when they visit your website. So I'm going to go ahead and click on back, just so that we're on the blog post that we're working with here. And as much as I'm happy with the actual content of the blog post, there are other things that you'll want to consider when creating a blog post. And that is all the stuff in the right-hand column here. So if we start at the top, we have the ability to save it as a draft. You already know that preview button because I've hit it like 10 times. You have things like status, which is essentially, do you want it to be a draft or pending review? Visibility, it will be set to public. You can also password protect or make it private if you'd like. We're going to leave it on public because not only do we want that in this case, but that will likely be your case as well. We also have the ability to publish immediately, or you can choose a date in the future, actually, or the past as well. So let's say you've set aside some time to do like some bulk entry work and you've got 10 blog posts, but of course you don't want to just fire them all out like right this second. So you're going to go through, enter those 10 blog posts and schedule them out, you know, every few days, every week, whatever it is that your schedule may be. So that is very helpful. You can go ahead, like I said, and schedule in the future. Or you can kind of do the reverse. So let's say you've got a blog post and we've all been there where we've kind of neglected it for a little bit, you know, and we've got to kind of go back and populate some dates just so that it doesn't look like your blog post hasn't been touched in 6 months or whatever it may be. So you really could go through, you know, we could go back to January, set it for then. You could even go back to a previous year if you'd like. That's completely up to you. I am going to leave it as publish immediately because I do want this blog post to go out right now. Now the readability and SEO settings here, it is a plugin by Yoast, and it is an SEO plugin that helps you kind of go through and make sure that you've checked off all the SEO requirements. And it's great in that it gives you ideas as well as to how to improve your SEO. So I'll leave a link to that in the description as well. But if you don't have that plugin installed, you won't be seeing these settings here. So don't worry about those too much if you don't see them. And here we have categories. And categories are great for organizing your content, and it makes the experience on your website much more seamless in that the reader is able to kind of bounce around and find related content that, you know, is suitable for them. So we've already created categories here because we've done previous blog posts. But if you have nothing there, you can simply click on Add New Category and add one here. So for example, I am going to do that because we actually don't have, well, we do have a social media category. We don't have an Instagram category. So I'll go ahead and put that on there just to kind of show you an example. We can put it under an existing category if we'd like. So let's say we want to put it under social media. We can go ahead and do that. Click on Add New Category. And it's already going to be selected. So I'm also going to put it in the All category, the social media category. I'm also going to put it in inspiration simply because this blog post is kind of just, you know, to give people ideas. And let's hit marketing as well. So that's it for the categories. And then we have tags. So if we click on choose from the most used tags, here are tags that we have applied to other blog posts. I find that this is helpful when you're trying to remember, you know, previous tags that you've used. So I'll go ahead and hit social media, and let's add Instagram as well. Okay, so go ahead and enter your tags. These next two sections I am just going to leave because I'm happy with the template used for this blog post. But definitely enter a featured image. This image will likely show up on your blog post, and it's also going to be the image that's pulled whenever you or someone else shares this blog post on social media. So to add your featured image, click on the Set Featured Image link. And then just like we did with the images within the blog post, hit the Upload Files tab and select File. We're also going to go ahead and add that alt text. And then click on Set Featured Image. Now we created this image in Photoshop, but of course you can use whatever program you'd like. And let's go ahead and preview it again. So there you can see our featured image. And you do want to spend a bit of time on this image. You know, imagine this being shared on Twitter or Facebook or wherever it may be. You want it to be visually appealing, but also have a bit of information like a title or a brief description on it. And then it's also good to include your website as well. You'll also see here the date that we're going to be publishing it, because we left it at immediately. And then we have the categories as well. So we selected all, inspiration, Instagram, marketing, and social media. And then the author here. So let's have a look at it one last time before we publish, and I'll also show you where the tags go. So yeah, I'm happy with it. And at the very bottom here, yours will likely be in a different place, but our tags show up at the very bottom. So we've got Instagram and social media. And when it comes to both tags and categories, when you select them or when you click on them, it's going to pull everything from that category or tag for your reader. So for example, if we click on social media, it's going to pull all of the blog posts that are in the social media category. So let's head back to the admin. And again, I am happy with it. I'm going to go ahead and publish it. So, you know, we've got publish immediately, that's fine. So actually, before I go ahead and publish, I'll go to the blog just so that you can kind of see what it looks like currently. So right now we've got this create Instagram posts for free blog post. But now if we go ahead and hit that publish button, our blog post will be live. And so if I go ahead and refresh the blog page, we'll see our brand new blog post. It also shows up in our recent posts widget here on the side. And if we go ahead and click on it, it'll really just look like what it looked like when we previewed it. But let's go ahead and have a look at it just for fun. And there we've got our blog post. If you found this video useful, definitely give it a like and subscribe to the eStoreKings YouTube channel. We will be posting more and more WordPress tutorials along with e-commerce and marketing videos.